Good evening, sir.
Dude. Suh.
Nothing. Waking up after this fine Tuesday.
Waking up. Took a nap?
Dude, no, I didn't take a nap, but I'm trying my hardest to just be present, be in the moment, get going.
Dude, if you do better than when your lady cooked you that food like a month or two ago, and I thought you were gonna fall asleep on the show, it'll be okay.
I don't think I'm gonna fall asleep on the show this time. I didn't. I'm
I was
not
like,
in food. I'm not in food coma this time.
good. I was like, well, there goes Ryan. It's my show now. Later, guys.
He's out of here.
Yeah, but you survived. So yeah, man. So here we are for a late night installment of Dylan in the Dock.
Yeah, here we are. Welcome to Dylan in the Dock.
Yeah, me and him.
Yeah,
He and I.
him and I.
Us.
Him
Together.
and I. Us. Me.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm Dr. Ryan. I
Mhm.
am an expert in the field of interpersonal communication and relationship development, here to answer all your questions relationship related. Hit them up in the comments. I take typically men, but anybody on their journey to self-discovery and developing the best relationship possible with their wives.
would you take me?
I got you. I got you, bro.
You would take me?
I'd take you.
Or would you take me? I'd take me.
Who are you?
Man, I'm Dylan. I am a sobriety coach. And I turn you into a curse breaker, man, because it's more than just the drink. You got a bunch of baggage you're dragging along with you from your environment, your raising, the world around you, all those things. Start
Yeah.
tackling that stuff. Get sober. Take you through belief, clarity, your big why, a little bit of tools, some good old perseverance, and then the discipline to carry it all through. And that's how we fix your issues. You fix your issues. I give you the framework to fix your issues.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I can't fix them for you. If I could, I'd be out of a job. I'd be cool with it, but that's just not a thing. So instead, I give you my frameworks. You apply them to your life. We do it together. You apply them to your life. That's it. Sorry, there's no done for you because you have to do the work. So that's it. That's what I do.
That's the problem with personal development. It's a lot of personal work.
Yeah.
There's no magic pill and nobody can do it for you.
You know, it's true. And anybody holding out for a magic pill will be holding out forever.
Just keep holding your breath.
Yeah. Till you pass out. And hopefully when you wake up, you've changed your mind.
Yeah.
So where's everybody hailing in from tonight? Love to hear from you. I was excited to know where the audience is.
Yeah. Hit us up in the comments. Let's get the show going.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
Dude, it was good. My father-in-law came over. I smoked my first brisket. I am officially turning into that guy. But it was delicious.
Were you wearing your New Balance shoes and
dog? No, but I did just buy a new pair of Asics, my first pair of like legit running shoes, because I'm really taking running seriously, and they look damn close to New Balance shoes.
Take the neighborhood dads around to show them your sweet lawn mowing abilities and your new lawnmower. And
what I like to do is I like to run around my neighborhood while my son bikes, to just show all the dads how boss I am running as my son's struggling to keep up on his bicycle. Like, that's what's up. This is how you train yourself and your son. I do not have New Balances though. So,
well, good. Let's keep it that way.
Yeah,
hey, Tony. Jen's in the house.
Hey, Illinois. What's up, Jen? I guess we might as well break the bad news now.
It's not bad news. It's just news.
It feels like bad news. We've had such a long run.
News.
Okay, it's not.
And it's not ending. It's not an end of a run.
Hey, Jen loves New Balance shoes. There you go. Yeah, no, it's not the end of a run. Our Friday shows are no longer going to be Friday shoes. our Friday shows are no longer going to be Friday shows.
No, we have moved it to Wednesday.
Wednesdays. So tomorrow.
Tomorrow, Wednesdays at 12 Central.
Yeah, 12 Central, 11 Mountain. Sorry to all y'all that check it out on Friday. It will not be a thing anymore for a while.
We're putting
Life
a brief,
just got busy,
yeah,
you know. We've got
putting a pin in it for now.
yeah,
That time slot.
yeah. We might return to Fridays. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Just know that it doesn't fit his schedule so well, which means it doesn't fit my schedule so well. And since it doesn't fit his schedule so well, I'm going to figure out something to cram into my schedule on that day, because that's what you do.
I'm sure you can find something.
Yeah, I've got to figure it out already. Don't worry. Yeah. So, yeah, man, my weekend was good. Like I said, before we got way lost on shoes, just hung out with the kids. It was my wife's weekend off.
Nice.
A huge part of my program is relational because it's how you restore joy. So, hey, if my wife has a weekend off, I generally make it a point to not do much of anything.
Yeah.
Outside of kind of the things that maybe she wants to do and things with the kids. We did watch a movie, watched Elemental. For those of you that have not seen it, I watched it because I was like cooking, but it was kind of a cute movie. My kids were stoked. They got to have popcorn, and we don't really let them drink soda, but I let them have some Sprite. So it was a big deal.
9 days sober tomorrow. That is awesome news there, Tony.
Oh, what's up? Yeah, that's awesome, man. You are through. I hate to break it to you, but you're at the point where now it's your decision. It is solely a choice. It's no longer, you don't get to go, well, I had withdrawals, because you made it. You made it. You're still with us, which means you just get to keep doing what you're doing, which is staying sober.
Yeah.
You know,
you just lost your ability to make excuses.
Your excuses have just evaporated, and you told me all about them. So now I'm gonna have to hold you accountable. That sucks, huh? Sucks to suck, dude. But no, in all seriousness, I'm gonna throw you up on the board, dude. Congratulations, 9 days sober tomorrow morning. Big deal.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. Oh no. You're welcome. And your nightmares, hopefully, will subside sooner than later. I do not have anything even remotely resembling a magic pill to deal with that. If they're relapse dreams, this isn't it's not a solution, but wake up in the morning and be grateful for the fact that you're not actually hungover after the drinking binge that you just went on that freaked you out. Because that's usually what my dreams are, is I drink. I do this weird thing where I'll drink as much as I can without dying.
Yeah.
Like I know that in my dreams somehow, like how much that is. But yeah, I just play with that. So then I wake up and I go, phew, I didn't drink last night. It was all a dream. So
nice. Yeah. I woke up the other night. I hardly ever remember my dreams. I'm sure I dream. But I woke up. I didn't even wake up. I was analyzing my dream while I was having it. And it made so much sense. And then I woke up and I wished I could remember what the hell. It made so much sense in my life, the way I was analyzing it.
Oh, man.
But didn't.
I have a dream journal. And I have to be honest, I've been slacking a little bit the last week. I've had some other things that I've been working on. But was pretty religious about even writing like I don't remember.
Yeah.
And in my experience, the more I write in my journal, the more I remember my dreams and the more details I remember. So if you want to remember, man, you can just wake up in the morning and for a month write down I don't remember until eventually you start remembering, and then you can write down what you remember.
Well, it's like once a month that I'll even realize that I had one if I have them.
Yeah. Oh, you do. You have, like, from what I understand, you have to. It's just a matter of whether we're like consciously aware of it.
Yeah, I'm not aware of anything going on. It's just asleep, boom, I'm awake in gym.
I've also heard that that's
I time
better
travel
sleep.
every night.
Like you have better sleep if you're not consciously aware of your dreams, because like that means everything actually went to sleep.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
you're
I'm getting
actually went to
good.
sleep.
I'm getting some
So
good sleep.
yeah,
Yeah,
instead
it's
I'm
like a
like,
time travel.
yeah,
Just out, wake up, and it's gym time, and there we go. Day
dude,
started.
I wish my nights were like that. Even if kids don't crawl in the bed, man, I wake quite a few times. My Fitbit, I'll look at like my sleep in the morning, and there will just be like a bunch of where I woke up. Just
Yeah.
kind of annoying. But I do get a lot of REM. I do get a lot of deep sleep. For those of you that might be worried about the sleep, guys, my sleep is good. For those of you that are concerned, it's just I wake up a lot. It sucks.
It's that old man small bladder.
I wish that was it. I'm just like Pavloved into thinking there's going to be a kid in my bed or something. So I like preemptively just get ready, brace for it. And then sometimes they don't show up, or sometimes they're already there. That's always fun. You're like, how the hell did you get in here?
Well, in a few years, you won't have to worry about it anymore. They'll just naturally have migrated to their own bed.
God, that would be great.
Then you'll just be conditioned away from that.
I'm looking forward to that. The way my wife and I have had kids, it was like as soon as one was out of the bed, the next one's moving on into it. So,
oh shit,
I got some time. Yeah, 2 or 3 years probably. We'll find out.
Yeah. Well, that's
enough about all this yammering, man. These people are here to talk relationships and recovery, and we're talking.
They were on the dreams. They were loving
it. Yeah, I see the comments rolling in talking about your dreams, dude. Yeah. I just want to throw this up. Look at that. That is someone in the community supporting somebody in the community. There you go. Jackie just hit you with a great job, Tony. That's what's up. So yeah. Anyways, dude, what you want to talk about?
Yeah, I don't know, maybe some, and I think it goes with kind of what Tony's going through and all that, just some positive self-talk. I've had a few clients talk to me about that, and I think it's something that a lot of people overlook is how important it is to talk positively to yourself.
To be your own cheerleader? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I mean, be your own cheerleader, but also not cut yourself down.
Yeah.
Because I don't know why we do it, but like when I was running a lot towards the end, like that last half mile or something, I would be talking real terrible to myself, thinking I was
just stop.
Trying, yeah, so that I wouldn't stop. Like, keep going, you whatever, blah 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 blah. You got this. You can do it. But I was actually just making myself feel worse about the job I was doing.
Yeah.
And I had a client today I was talking to. He was talking a little bit about it and how he talks to himself to get himself hyped up. I was like, so I put it into perspective and I said, would you hype your daughter up in the same way? Would you hype your wife up in the same way? Would you hype your mom up in the same way? Well, no, I would never talk to them that way. I was like, so why are you talking to yourself that way? It's doing the same harm you think it would do to your daughter, to you. You just don't realize it.
Yeah. I can definitely get behind that.
And it's not something we take control of immediately. It's a new learned response to the way we're thinking. And it takes time to implement that.
So you don't get in front of the mirror and like point at yourself and then yell at yourself and call yourself bad names. That's not the way to do this.
No, that would be counterintuitive.
Okay. Yeah. I support it. I mean, I talk pretty good to myself most of the time. I spend a lot of time talking about why I'm doing things.
Yeah.
To hype myself up. Like that's what it'll be like. You bring up running. That's where I have to do my most pep talking. I think that's like, I don't know. pretty universal with most people that I've ever talked to that do any sort of running, if it's more than a mile or even if it's less than a mile, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll just be like, my brain will try to convince me to stop. And then I have to give it a bunch of reasons as to why we're going to continue.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm doing this because I want to live longer. I want to be able to meet my grandkids and hopefully great grandkids and all those things.
Yeah.
I will say mostly since I got sober, I quit talking shit to myself. Like, I mean, I'm not perfect. I still have days I'm off. I am a human. I have days where I have a slight twinge of depression. I'm just not feeling the vibe that day, and I won't be nice to myself maybe. But before I got sober, I was horrible to myself. I was just tired of losing to me, losing to the man in the mirror every day. It sucked. So it's like, I hate that guy, which makes it harder to get sober, by the way, everyone tuning in. Yeah.
So what are some ways around that? Like, especially like Tony, 9 days sober. Like, what are some of the things you would assume, like when you were 9 days, that you were saying to yourself that was negative that might hold you back? And then how did you reframe that?
Well, so it was a pretty quick change after I got sober, like my self-talk. I did it through action though. So it was like I very quickly went to rack successes up in my life. So then it was easy to flip the script from that negative self-talk to positive self-talk because I had actual examples in like the last 9 days during my experience to look at and go like, hey man, you don't suck actually. You did it. Like, this is the longest you've been sober in this long and yada, 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 So that's how I would be framing those things is like, for Tony, I don't know specifically, but like, honestly, it doesn't matter. If you're on now a 9 day spree, you have the ability to hype yourself up about that every day. And then 10 and 11, like that's where counting can be useful for people. Like, hype yourself up about that.
Yeah.
And you made it through withdrawal. That sucked. You made it though. Here you are. That's something worth talking nicely to yourself about, being kind to yourself about. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but I like other things that, like when I think about negative self-talk, I'm thinking like, right, he's got 9 days. I would be thinking, right, I've got 9 days. I've never had 10. There's no way I could get to a month. I don't know what that looks like. There's just like a year sounds impossible. Like, to me, that's negative self-talk. And if you say that, you are going to manifest that in your life.
Totally.
You are going to act on that.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. So, I mean, you took most of them from me right there, but one of mine actually, and I don't know if this will resonate with anybody in the audience, but the negative self-talk that I had most commonly was that I thought my life was over. Like, that was a thing that even kept me from getting sober. I was like, if I get sober, then I'm going to have to like tell everybody that I got sober. So then in my mind, I'm having to admit this level of weakness or something. And so I would always tell myself, like, you'll never get a good job again, as if there's no such thing as a permanent record. Nobody knows unless you racked up a felony or something along the way. But like, I don't have to disclose to an employer that I used to drink and that I got sober. Like, but in my head, it was like, well, my college career is over and I'm never going to get a good job. And, all of these things that were associated with a past of drinking that, by the way, if I weren't having this show, if I weren't doing the things that I do, nobody around me would have any clue.
No.
Like, it's not a thing that I bring up in conversation. So it's like, yeah. So does that a good one for you?
Yeah.
And the way I reframed it was just like, it didn't matter. Like, at some point we have to come to terms with the fact that our life cannot get worse if we get sober. Like getting sober will not make your life worse. Period. Like I don't care what outcome happens from getting sober. Like you have to admit to like, I don't even know, man. I don't even know who you'd have to confess your sin to of drinking or whatever to really make it worse, but it just gets better, right?
Yeah. Like I would think if I was talking to one of my clients, obviously I don't do the sobriety stuff, but in that context, if I were to say, if they were to come to me and they would be talking to me in the way they're talking to themselves, like there's like a month seems impossible. Right there, that would be a red flag for me where I'm like, whoa, hold up. Like we need to reframe how you're talking to yourself about this, because if you say 1 month is impossible, it's going to be impossible.
Whether you say it is or you say it isn't, you're right
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah. So it's just rephrasing that, like, I don't know how to rephrase that because I can't even remember back to that, but I don't know how to rephrase that, I guess. And
As
I
far
guess
as like a month being impossible.
like a month being impossible, or and then you come up on like 3 months, 6 months, like those, and I know those are like traditional 12-step milestone
I
things.
take them away. Like I don't.
Yeah,
Like,
but I mean, if somebody's talking to themselves, it's like 3 months seems impossible to me. To me, that's negative self-talk, and you're setting yourself up for failure right there. So instead of looking at the 3 months as impossible, like how would you go about reframing it?
So that's where like the 1 day at a time thing comes from, mostly. To be honest
Yeah,
with you,
but that's
like that.
to me, that's bullshit. Like
Well,
1 day at a time.
I'm with you. What I usually do is I have them, reframe their experience in comparison to like me and tons of other people that have been sober. I'm like, then how did we do it? Jen can speak to this. Like, that's literally the first message she ever sent me. She said, "This is impossible." I was like, how is it impossible if other people have done it? Like, what do
Yeah.
you mean? You know? So that's usually what I'll do is I cut them away at the knees. It's like, where is your evidence for that?
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of evidence to the contrary that it's not impossible. Like, what you got now? You know?
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. Because
Okay.
the other thing too, I play a lot to people's egos because like it works very well.
Yeah.
In a gentle way, by the way. But it's like, you say I'm special and you're not. I'm better than you. Like, no, nobody wants to admit that because it's not true. So it's like, hey, I'm just a dude. You're just a dude. We can both do dude things, which means if I got sober for a month, you can get sober for a month. It's not impossible. So that's some of the things I would do.
Okay. Fair enough. It just
I hope
seems
that answers
like
your
that
question.
would be to me, that would be a tricky one to reframe in my head.
But yeah,
because it does seem like a long ways away. And I mean, to me, I would take it away and set manageable goals. Like how do we cut 3 month? I want you to look at this as a goal, this 3 month. How do we cut that down into more manageable chunks so that you're seeing wins and progressing towards that? Then when you get to that 3 months, we reframe it to whatever is your next big goal.
Totally. So and that's like I said, how I like take it away from them. That's what I was talking about because it's a goal oriented program. Sobriety is not the goal. Like designing a life is the goal. Like that's what people do when they stay sober. Like you want to meet people that have been sober for a long time, that sobriety is not their thing. That's what it looks like. They just were like, well, I'm sober now. I'm going to go live a life. You know, I'm going to go run an ultra. I'm going to go have a podcast. I'm going to go do this. They usually go on to do really incredible things, right? So that's what the program's all about. Like I won't take, if someone wants milestones, I'm not going to take that away from them, right?
Yeah.
But mostly it's a lot of, would be a lot of coaching. when it
Oh,
comes
okay.
to having to help someone reframe that. It's like, well, you know, why are you living in the future? Why are you future tripping? Like you don't even know what it looks like. You're on
Yeah.
day, like if I were to use Tony as an example, you're on day 9. You got 21 days to span between 3 weeks between now and then. Like it could get easier between now and then. Why have you decided that it's going to get bad, that it's going to suck when it could actually get easier? Like,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, because that's honestly why I kind of like steer people away from the milestones, is because they're just such a double-edged sword. So it's like, let's not make that what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and if you just want to count days, like, just count days. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
I don't see a whole like. I don't know. I mean, people do it. I did it for a while too, and then eventually, I got to a point where 3 months was like a hang up for me, and I was uncomfortable with the concept of counting days moving forward.
Yeah.
Because I would hit that and be like, self-fulfilling prophecy. 90 days is all I can do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I like that because, like the title of this one says, relationships hard. Relationships are not difficult. What's difficult is relearning some of these old things, relearning how to look at it. So
Yeah.
you're not looking. So like sobriety, you're not going on just to be sober. You're going on to be a better person. You're not just going on to have a relationship. You're going on to be a better partner, to be a better version of yourself, to be a better communicator, to be a better man, to be a better everything. Like there's so many things involved. It's not the relationship. The relationship part's easy. It's all the rest of this stuff that's more difficult.
Yeah. Well, I made a post about that the other day. I said, and it ruffled some feathers, but it was like, staying sober isn't hard. It's just work.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, it's not hard. It's like, but there are things around it that might be, but the staying sober part's not actually the hard part. Like,
Yeah.
that's not the hard part. Anybody that has any sort of lasting sobriety will understand exactly what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know. It's all the other maintenance things that we do as just a human being that are difficult because in addiction, you spend so much time away from the things that you could and should be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's the same in the relationship. Like it's the things you should be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Melissa's daughter's sick. And I could just let them do their thing, whatever. Melissa take care of her. Not a big deal. But it's the things like recognizing other aspects in how you support those people. Melissa has a busy day. Daughter's not feeling good. I'm like, cool. I have the ability to take a little bit of time off, go make some chicken soup and take it over there for dinner tomorrow night.
Look at you go.
Helps everybody out. Like it's finding areas to support people.
Yeah.
That's like probably one of the hardest things. But once you get selfish. It down, not like it's not being selfish in the relationship. And simple, not easy, brother. Tomato.
Yeah, whatever, dude. Talk to me in a couple of years.
But yeah, it's little things like that, recognizing that those it's not the not drinking, it's the other things that should be done, like going to the gym, working on self-talk, affirmations, goals, your career, whatever the case may be. There's everything else you should be working on that if you are working on it, everything else is going to fall into place and it's going to become, I'll put it into his terms, simpler.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, honestly, that's it. It's like, I often say it's not the drinking. I don't say it in the context that a lot of people do. Like, oh, it's all your childhood traumas and yada. Like, no, dude, maybe it is for you. It's not for most people I've ever worked with. It's just that we suck at respecting ourselves and respecting our own boundaries and loving ourselves and taking care of ourselves. And then it like spills into like all the other people, right? So when you do those things, which aren't necessarily easy, you start doing those things, then staying sober becomes easy because it's like you have a thing you're working towards. You've spent a lot of time nurturing this thing, and you're like, I just don't want to piss this away.
Yeah.
I don't want to just blow it all up. Like I've spent a lot of time taking care of this. So then it makes the decision. It's not a decision that is binary and like, do I want to drink or do I not want to drink? It's like, do I want to drink and ruin all of this? Or do I want to stay sober and continue working towards this thing I've been working towards? And there's a lot more weight in that decision. And it makes it easier to make what I would suggest is the right decision, which is not blow your life up, you know?
Yeah.
That's it. I mean,
yeah, putting things into perspective like that definitely helps.
Yeah.
That's what Tony Phillips, fall in love with that good sleep and the nights get so much better. Yeah. Dude, yeah, that good sleep, there's nothing like it.
That good.
Yeah.
I'm into that. So what do you, when you've got, do you ever have people that come in that like don't believe that their relationship can get better? You have to like talk them off a ledge that it's like doomed or they're doomed in it somehow, anything like that?
Okay, so here's the thing. Most of them, like I've said this before, I wish they wouldn't come in at this point. It's like the Hail Mary. It's not that they, how do I put this? It's not that they think there's no hope. It's that they hope that there is some hope.
Okay.
Like they don't think everything's gone. They think that they think that it's so far gone there's nothing they can do. Which is typically, if you haven't let it get so bad, the wrong place to be thinking, because there's always something you can do.
Yeah.
It's probably not the quick fix you're wanting, like come in for a session and we're done. That's not going to happen. Which a lot of people do. Like they come to my free consultation thinking I'm going to fix all their problems in a 45-minute discussion. No, I hit the tip of the iceberg and tell you, yeah, like your relationship kind of is shit, but what are you doing to combat that? And at that point, most of them don't say anything. They haven't even started doing anything.
Yeah.
But then they take it because I'll give a few pointers or tips or whatever. Like being empathetic, being understanding, asking questions, getting to know each other. Oh yeah, I can just do that. Okay, that's like a little grain of salt in the Dead Sea, essentially.
Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, I wish people didn't come like yours is different. Like they've already kind of different. They're already at that point where it's like this or that. There's more, I think, fluidity, and maybe I'm wrong, in the relationship side, where I wish, okay, so they can't come to you when they're sober and say, I want to stay sober.
Dude, like, I have people that do that. True.
Where they've never drank before.
Oh, well, okay, never drank before, no, but like people that are already sober.
Yeah, like, well, people who have never been an alcoholic come to you and say, I never want to become an alcoholic, so I'd like maintenance from you.
No,
that's what I'm saying. Like coming to me when your relationship is good.
Yeah, right.
And which is when I wish people would come to me so that I can combat all of these things before they even arise to where they never become problems in the first place. This is why so many celebrities, millionaires, well-established people have therapists and coaches for their relationship. It's not that it's bad. It's that they understand that that's an investment.
They don't want it to be. They
They
don't want it to
want
be
it to
bad.
be bad. This is it is honestly, they realize their relationship is the biggest investment they have in life,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you need to invest in it early and often.
Mhm.
And once you do that, you don't have to worry about it. That becomes, I'll put it in these terms, passive income. It's just
I
giving
like
back
that.
to you and to them passively for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I really like that. Um,
Yeah, your relationship should be passive income if you know how to nurture it and invest in it. And
Megan, where's my check?
and people don't understand that. They want to wait until it's raw and terrible and awful and divorce is on the table to then be like, "Oh,
Just always got to bring that up, don't you?
I do," because it just I wish people would just get a relationship coach, get into a program, learn the tools early in your relationship. It's not that you have to do it forever, but at least get in and learn the tools to be successful for a lifetime.
Yeah. And I think like, I want to real quick, like, it's not just a relationship coach or a sobriety coach. It's like a financial planner. It's a dentist. It's going to your GP once a year. It's literally everything that you can do in your life preventatively is the approach to take. Like you should change the oil in your vehicle. If your vehicle is doing a weird thing, you should go have somebody check it out before like you have an engine that's blown up. You're on the side of the road.
Yeah.
It's 100 degrees out. You know, like that's the smart moves to make. Like,
Yeah.
you don't let a cavity turn into, yeah, this is like getting close to home, turn into something that has to have a tooth pulled out,
Yeah.
like I did when I was drinking. You know, don't do those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Like, make the smart decision to stay on top of everything
Mhm.
before it gets bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it really is, like, I love that. And it's interesting. I never approached it from like the passive income thing, but I
Mhm.
will let my clients, it's like, hey, you're now saving this much money per month. Earmark it for a thing, a meaningful thing, so that you're like, wow, I have this extra bonus side quest goal that I get just for continuing to do the things that I'm doing. Then I
Mhm.
get to go on this. Most people want to go on a vacation or something, right? It's like, oh, boom, there you go. Bonus reward, right?
Yeah.
But it is for them at that point, it's become passive income. Like, literally, you're
It
just like, oh, I
it
always had it.
Yeah, and it really is. The example I'll give everybody is like Alex and Leela Hormozy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows them. They are a pinnacle of power couples.
Yeah.
But it's because they invested in each other and in their relationship that now it is passive income for them. She'll say she's a better person now because of Alex. He'll
Yeah.
say the same thing about her, and they feed off each other. They're growing together. That's their income, is growth, personal and professional growth
Yeah. Yeah.
from them being together and being strong.
Yeah.
And
Supporting one another.
yeah, and it's that passive income I wish I could get more people to understand and invest in, because I can save a relationship, but it's much easier if I just give you the tools while it's good to make sure that it stays good so that you don't have to save it in the future.
Well, and so that's it. Cause it's like the sooner someone comes to me, the less of a hole they have to dig out of.
Yeah.
And that's on multiple fronts, like physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially. Like,
Mhm.
all those things stack against you. You know, if you've been in a really dark place drinking and you owe a bunch of people money and everyone's mad at you and you're really depressed and anxious because that's what booze does, it is more difficult to then turn around and try to stay sober. Because when you get a clear head, you're like, damn, I owe bill collectors that much money.
Yeah.
You know, then someone's knocking on your door serving you, like, now you really owe them that much money, right? And that's the type of shit we'll use to like justify our drinking, is an excuse to drink in our heads,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So if you do, not even if it's not with me, like, make the decision to get sober before it gets bad, you know?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't. That's not usually how, you're right. That's not usually how it works. I mean, I've had some people come to me in a pretty good place. You know, they're just like, I I've been sober for a while. The program I'm working isn't working, and I'm concerned, and I trust you. I like what you say. I want to
Yeah.
give it a shot, you know? So it's like, then it is more maintenance planning. But you are right in that they've already crossed the Rubicon at one point and come
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
before they're working with me. And there was a guy that made a comment. I made a video about like how at the end of my drinking, it was just one thing. It was just like, oh, Black Velvet, no matter what. It
Yeah.
never changed. That's all I drank. And that was a pretty good sign that I was only drinking to get drunk at that point.
Yeah.
It's rock gut whiskey. But this guy was like, what? He's like, I think you like everyone knows that when they're at that point, they've got a drinking problem. You should try to find the people that aren't alcoholics yet, target the problem drinkers instead. And I was like, yeah, but how do you do that? Like, it's so hard to get. We don't know what we don't know.
Yeah.
So if somebody doesn't have the awareness of, oh, hey, this is a problematic relationship with alcohol.
Yeah.
Even if you threw it evidence in front of them, they can't see it because they just can't see what they can't see, right? So I mean, I don't know how that would work, but damn, it would be nice if you could get people that are sober curious before they're sober curious.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah. I mean, it's a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Doug? I hope you're still steadily drinking less. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Tony said, like just things that he's hearing, if he would have known, things would have ended up differently in his relationship before it ended. And that's what I was getting at with like celebrities, high profile people, people with a lot of resources. They understand this because they understand that the relationship is the investment.
Yeah.
And it's an investment just like any of your properties, like your portfolio, like your retirement, your career, everything, your spiritual life, your health. It's all an investment. But people, I don't think, treat it that way. They treat it as a tangible thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of how, they treat it like a thing, like a widget rather than an investment.
I could see that. Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas if you treated it like an investment or saw it as an investment, you would nurture it, you would hone it, you would invest into it.
Treat it like a little baby.
Yeah. Yeah. You would nurture it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think I always pay attention to the verbiage people use.
Yeah.
Like when they're referring to a relationship as if they're referring to it as like a thing, like it's like an object, like a piece of furniture or something. I'm like, ooh, I don't know what that looks like for you, but that seems strange. You know, or
yeah,
I see, I've had somebody do that with one of my kids. Like, how old is it? Like it, what? But yeah, I mean, the way that we refer to the things in our life lets us know where we stand with things. So that makes a lot of sense to me. You know, you got somebody that's like, it's an object in their life instead of a living, breathing organism that needs to be taken care of and watered and fed and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which it does, right?
It does. And I think if people would understand that when they got together, that it is something that needs to be nurtured constantly and invested in, they would do that a lot earlier and they wouldn't stop.
Yeah.
You invest right at the beginning, and then you pretty much take a withdrawal and leave the account depleted.
Yeah.
And never invest in it again. You just kind of let it sit there.
I've been guilty. I've definitely been guilty of doing that in more than one relationship along the way.
Oh, me too.
Like honeymoon phase.
Yep.
Everything is good. And then because everything's good, it's like we assume that it will then just like take care of itself. God, I've done enough work. Like the house is built. It doesn't need to be maintained. I
Yeah.
built it. Like, it's okay. Like, no, dog, tornado just rolled through here and you've decided that you don't need to do anything to like fix the house. Like, you just,
Yeah.
it's all good. Um, yeah. Yeah. I mean, even outside of addiction, like it didn't
Yeah.
even, I'd love to be able to blame every relationship problem I've ever had on drinking, but that's just not a thing that
Yeah.
I do or that I let other people around me do, because that's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Most of the people, I like how you put that. Most of these people in hurting relationships, they're putting a lot into it up front in the beginning, in the honeymoon stage. They're investing in it. And then after the honeymoon stage, they're withdrawing those good memories, trying to keep the relationship alive instead of investing new experiences, investing support, investing emotion, investing physical time, investing all these things into the relationship and not relying on past investments.
yeah, yeah. I pack my wife's lunch every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Make her protein shake in the morning before she walks out the door. I don't drink coffee. I make the coffee pot every day. Well, 99% of the time. I've forgotten it a couple times. But I mean, that's it. That's like the thing. They're like gestures of support. It's like, hey, I'm trying to make your life a little bit easier because you make my life easier in other ways too. So let's make each other's lives easier. It wasn't always that way. It was like take. No give. No give, no give, no give. And the reason I point all those things out is they're very small gestures. They do not take a lot,
No.
but they're meaningful beyond measure, especially on a day when, like, my wife's morning's a shit show and she now gets to go to work with food.
Yeah.
Whereas she would not have been able to do that otherwise.
Yeah.
So not every day she's eternally grateful, but on that one day, she remembers, like, oh damn, Dylan does this for me all the time.
Yeah.
I don't think those are difficult investments. Do you?
They're really not, but everybody makes them out to be such big things.
Yeah.
Especially guys throwing in a load of laundry, taking the trash out, doing the dishes sometimes, cooking a meal, helping
Only
clean.
sometimes. Which guy gets
Well,
to do
that's what I'm
dishes
saying.
sometimes?
That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes they can't even do it sometimes because they think it's this huge investment.
Bro,
But
I'm the dish
like,
master in my house.
and some guys are, but most it's like,
No.
and I get division of labor. But what I'm saying is support. Like,
Yeah.
it's as easy as rinsing your plate off and just putting it in there. It's really that easy instead of throwing it in the sink. And that is a sign of support, a little tiny investment.
Dude, one of my best friends and I were on the phone the other night, and that was like verbatim one of the things he said. He's like, I usually end up doing the dishes, and I don't really mind, but I just wish that she would just take her plate and instead of putting it in the sink or putting it on the counter, just 2 seconds longer and put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah.
And it's like, it isn't a huge amount of our time or energy, but for whatever reason we will fall short and not pull it off.
Yeah.
I strive to be 5% better.
Mm-hmm.
That's like kind of my mantra. It's like, if I'm walking by something, it might not be my thing, I pick it up anyways.
Yeah.
It's usually a kid's. It's annoying, but I pick it up, I do something with it. It's not a big deal. And I apply that to all aspects of my life. So then you're just supportive of the family unit. If you don't have kids, it doesn't even have to be a family unit. Like, you walk by a thing that needs done that maybe your wife is supposed to do, but like you could do it, with the caveat, sometimes they do like to do things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, don't my wife, I for a while thought it was like super helpful doing all the laundry, but that was like taking air out of her sails, because it was like her thing that she's contributing to the relationship. So whenever I'm like, I did a good thing and I did the laundry. She's like, that's what I was supposed to do this week to contribute, and you've taken it from me, you know?
But also there's other things she can do to contribute.
Yeah. Yeah. Go
I
do a
like
different thing.
I like what Tony said. Yeah, it is building up slowly and steadily every day. Soon you have a reservoir to fall back on when things get rough. You do have that reservoir, but it's when you rely on that reservoir too much
Yeah.
that it becomes meaningless and you've depleted all resources out of there.
So I find like in our relationship, I guess we'll do a relationship checkup here with the doc.
Yeah.
We always, I don't want to say always because that's not the kind of generalization. We have a conflict on a regular basis. It doesn't mean daily, right?
Yeah.
Or weekly, but they happen regularly because we're two human beings navigating a relationship with four other human beings that are involved in the mix. And there are things where we don't agree sometimes. And that reservoir that Tony's talking about is the difference between a knockdown, drag out fight and the ability to navigate that in a more comfortable fashion.
Yeah.
Because it's like a reservoir of trust that I'm going to behave in a certain way, she's going to behave in a certain way, and that we can work through this thing, this uncomfortable thing together because we have all this evidence over here of our willingness and ability to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could see like if I trained that because I just turn into a jackwagon and decide I'm no longer going to cooperate with her, then anytime that you do run into a conflict, there's no evidence that I'm not going to be a jerk. So then she responds in kind, a jerk to a jerk.
Yeah.
You know, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does because you've depleted the trust investment.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've gone back on it. You haven't continually added on to it. Like I always say, trust isn't something that's given. It's something that's built over time and through experience. So each time you have a new experience and you've shown that you're trustworthy and they can trust you, it goes ahead and is stored in that bank.
Yeah.
When you show that you're not trustworthy, it takes a little bit of trust out of that bank and you've got to rebuild it. But once you start taking more and more out, it's depleted and it's gone.
Yeah. I just think it's important to keep it full as full as you can. Cause like, I'm just not perfect. Like some of those conflicts arise because of truly an error in judgment or a mistake that I have made. You know, like I screwed up, which then led to a wife that's a little fuming mad for a second, you know, or vice versa. It works either way.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have that little buffer. It's a reservoir she can go cool down in.
Yeah.
And we'll make it through it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I don't have to worry about straws and camels.
So yeah, bottom line is I wish people would start early, get the tools necessary to have a healthy relationship, navigate conflict in the right way so that they don't have these big problems in the future.
Yeah, bro, your relationship, when done right, is the most important and the last relationship that you will ever have.
Yeah.
And it's meaningful on so many different levels because I want to point something out. When you hit a certain age, like I don't hang out with my boys. I hang out with my wife because I prioritized that relationship in my life. It's not that I don't have friends. It's not that I don't have my homies, right?
Yeah.
It's that on a given day, I'm more likely to want to hang out with her and the kids than with my friend. No disrespect to my friend. Conversely, my friend is in the exact same boat, who also has a relationship that he cares about. And it's more important to him to nurture that relationship than to nurture one that he has with me, which we have a giant trust reservoir built up from 2 decades, 3 decades of experience, where if I haven't seen him in 2 years and I just see him again, it's as if no time passed in any way. and we just lockstep back into life together. So
Yeah.
Tend to your relationship so that you're not like literally alone at some point, because all your friends are like, I experienced that when my wife moved, even before the divorce. Like, I didn't have any friends anymore because my wife and my kids had become my only friends.
Yeah.
And all of my friends couldn't just hang out with me all the time because I had become like a bachelor who wasn't a bachelor, because they weren't bachelors.
Yeah.
So it's like, this sucks, you know? So if you're in that situation because your relationship fell apart, like, the way to avoid that is to just do the work,
Yeah.
right?
It is. And I mean, that's one of the big things I harp on people about. I'm getting ready to make another video of it. It's like these people think they have to go to the bar with their friends. And it's probably one of the most destructive things to a relationship. And the reasons are this: it's not that you're going to the bar with your friends, it's that A, bars are a place for hookups. B, your friends that are going aren't in healthy, committed relationships. They're probably in shit relationships, or they're single. And if they're single, you're out mingling with the singles while you're in a healthy relationship. You're being super disrespectful to your spouse by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're going to go to the bar, you better go to the bar with your partner,
Yeah.
or you don't go at all.
Yeah.
Like, that's just how it has to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because your relationship is your top priority. It is a priority above your kids. It is a priority above everything else.
Yeah. 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 Because someday, I had a client I just had that conversation with. It was like, she really prioritizes her children. And I was like, that's cool. It's admirable. But like, someday they're going to leave you. And it's not going to be when they're 18. It's going to be like, I got a 7-year-old that wants nothing to do with me most of the time.
Yeah.
You know, like he's his own human being.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing odd. Like, he doesn't owe me shit. Like, that's one of the hardest things to come to terms with as a parent, is like, my kids don't owe me a damn thing. They don't owe me respect. Like, they didn't choose to be here. Like, they were drug into this thing because of a choice that two people made.
Yeah.
So I don't get to get mad at him if he doesn't want to hang out with me. It's not a thing. Like, I didn't create a best friend that I just get to like, no, dude, you got to hang out with dad all the time. Like, that's not it. So you don't want to make the most meaningful relation. Not that, I mean, you value your kids, don't get me wrong, but like, they're just they're like a sliver below your spouse.
Yeah.
Because they are their own people that are going to bail on you at some point.
Yeah, they're going to bail. And it's, if it's not that early in high school, they're definitely going to bail on you.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We're like, we have like a biological imperative at that point to like, just not like our parents.
Yeah. It's adolescent psychology. Like, they are seeking autonomy and individuality.
Yep.
That is what they're seeking away from you.
Yep. Yeah. I'm just trying to experience a hierarchy of needs here.
Almost.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're like, so many people want to put their kids above their relationship, and then their relationship just turns to shit once the kids leave, and they wonder why.
Yeah.
Well, you've been neglecting your partner. You've been putting everything else above and beyond your partner for so long that now you're stuck with this.
Yeah. Yeah. You dug this grave, man.
Yeah.
Lay in it. I don't know what to tell you. Unfortunately, the body in there is your relationship. Yeah.
You're in a relationship. Stop going to the bar with your friends. It is a waste of goddamn time, and start prioritizing your partner. Like, it's just two simple things that people can't wrap their head around for some reason.
Yeah. Even if you're not in a relationship, stop going to the bar with your goddamn friends. Like, I'm sorry. That's just not, I don't know. I have more faith in you. You can do better, bro. Whoever's watching this right now.
Yeah.
You do not have to pick up a chick at the bar. You can do better.
No.
Yeah. There you go.
No, go for quality.
I'm calling it. That's end.
That's it.
That's the poll quote for the show.
Cut.
And cut. We're done. On a real note, though, it is about that time. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
See you tomorrow noon.
Yeah.
Noon central.
Noon central. Whatever.
Thanks
time
everybody
your
for
zone
hanging out.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did update this posters, so if you're curious what time and what days, just go to the Dylan in the Dock thing. Ryan and I both suck at this. Contact at Dylan.
Oh yeah, we didn't put that up once. Yeah, get a hold of us.
Yeah, we're good at what we do. We're just not good at some of the other things that we do.
Shoot us a message, say hi,
Yeah.
whatever you want to say, get help.
Yeah.
Ask about our programs.
Or just ask us what our favorite ice cream is. Then you can send it to us. I accept candy. My kids will probably be the ones that eat it, but hey, we'll take whatever. Yeah. So anyways, we'll see you guys tomorrow at noon.
See ya.